Hello everybody, my name is RetroBoy03 and welcome to a follow-up of sorts on my previous video I made a few months ago on some early Harry Potter leaks and rumors. Now I'm back a few months later. We've gotten a lot more concrete information, we've gotten official reveals, we've gotten leaked figures, we've gotten leaked set numbers, and well, I'll just be going over everything we know at this point in time about the upcoming LEGO Harry Potter line as it's going to be appearing in 2018. So, let's get started. So the first set we're getting is set number 75950, Aragog in the Forbidden Forest, and I should mention that most of these are just titles I came up with, so it might be called something different. It might be called like Aragog Attacks or Aragog in the Dark Forest, but I'm just going with Aragog in the Forbidden Forest. Anyway, this set will have 157 pieces and cost $15. The build will obviously be Aragog, the spider from the Chamber of Secrets. Here I'm actually representing him using Shelob, the giant spider from Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King, which LEGO made as a set back in 2012. And the reason I'm showing him here instead of the standard LEGO Aragog is because, well, the two LEGO Aragogs, the first one was super early and looked really weird, and the second one was tiny. Also, I feel as though, like, the upcoming LEGO Aragog will take after this Shelob. Like, obviously, it'll be smaller with a much smaller piece count. The Shelob was about 230 pieces, while this one's only 157, but I think the legs will be similarly built, and I feel as though maybe the head will also be sort of similar. I think the main differences will be in sort of the back section. Yeah. Anyway, for figures, I can 100% confirm that we'll be getting Harry and Ron in their costumes from the scene. Harry will actually look pretty similar to how he looks here in terms of the torso. Like, obviously, they both have their new hair pieces and face prints and short legs, but Harry looks pretty identical on the torso, just a bit more detail on the light blue shirt underneath his jacket. And for Ron, the print is pretty similar, although it's actually on a light gray torso with the black being printed on, which is kind of an interesting switch-up. The other figure we might get in this set is Hagrid's dog, Fang, who would require a new mold. I think it's like a 50% chance we'll get him, since we don't really have any leaks to suggest we're getting him, and I don't think many people would be super sad if he wasn't included, but at the same time, it would be pretty cool to get Fang, since he does belong in this scene, definitely. Yeah. But, the next set is one that LEGO's officially revealed. It's 75951, Grindelwald's Escape from the upcoming Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald. The set will come with 132 pieces and cost $20, which makes it kind of overpriced compared to the other sets, but obviously this set has the big new Thestral mold, so that's kind of justified. For figures, we have Grindelwald, who looks alright, Madame Pickery, who looks alright, and that Thestral, which is pretty amazing. And then we have this nice little chariot. Carriage is the word I was looking for. So yeah, pretty cool set. I've already done a full analysis on it when it was first revealed. Pretty cool stuff. The next set is the other Fantastic Beasts set, 75952, Newt Scamander's Briefcase, which will come with 694 pieces for $50, which is a really good price per part ratio. But anyway, obviously the build will be of his briefcase. It'll be like, it definitely won't be to actual scale. It'll be a little child-sized suitcase, but you'll be able to open it up, and inside, like, there'll just be a little play set. Like, you can have your Fantastic Beasts in there and your figures, just a little play area. It'll be fun. For Beasts included, we'll probably get a I know we'll get a Niffler, because we actually already have had it revealed on J.K. Rowling's Twitter account. It's that little guy there. He's pretty amazing. I think it's pretty likely that we'll get a baby Akami. You know, the little snake bird thing. I doubt we'll get a full-size one, but I think it's pretty likely that we'll just get the little baby, since obviously it's kind of important to the plot of the movie, as that's what brought Jacob Kowalski into the movie. Also, it's adorable. That's another part of it. I think it's also pretty likely that we'll get a Bowtruckle, specifically Pickett. And he'll probably be a new mold. I could see LEGO just recoloring Baby Groot into lime green for him, although I really hope they don't. I mean, if they did, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, since obviously they're both little tiny wood creatures, but I don't know. It just wouldn't look accurate since Pickett is so thin. He really does need a new mold for him. But yeah, I mean, another Fantastic Beasts that we could get, although I think it's less likely, is an Arumpet, which is, of course, the giant rhinoceros thing from the movie, with, like, with the horn filled with explodey fluid. Explodey, that's a great word. If only I could English good. But yeah, I mean, like, that's possible, though then again, the Arumpet is also something I could see LEGO just doing as, like, a standalone $20 set in another wave. Just like the Arumpet with, like, Newt and Jacob. So I don't know. Could get it. I mean, like, there are other beasts. Like, we could also maybe get, like, the Thunderbird. Although, honestly, that's one I think is a bit less likely. Because I don't really see how LEGO could do that as a brick-built creature and make it look that good. And I doubt, like, in a set with this good price per part ratio, I doubt we're getting any new molds besides that Niffler. I mean, and maybe the other two beasts. Like, that's the thing. It's hard to say with this set because, like, it has such a good price-to-part ratio that I really don't know what we could expect here. Like, then again, I feel so LEGO's probably putting more effort into... I don't know. This set is a good price-to-part ratio. Price-to-part ratio, I'd be saying, not price per part. I mean, either works, I guess, but price-to-part just sounds more natural. But anyway, yeah, because we have all these beasts, but... we also need minifigures. The first of which, obviously, is going to be Newt Scamander, who is... I mean, obviously, he's just 100% likely. They can't make Newt Scamander's briefcase without Newt Scamander. I mean, what's a good example to contrast? That would be like making the Millennium Falcon without Han Solo. So let's just hope LEGO doesn't make us a Millennium Falcon set specifically for episode 8 or 9, because... that would be horrifying. But anyway, but yeah, I mean, the torso print on this guy is pretty great. I hope they keep the torso print. Leg print is also fine. Really hope they make a new head, though, because I do not like the original head LEGO made for this guy for Dimensions. And it's weird. It's sort of like what they did with the Wicked Witch in Dimensions as well, where they have this really accurate design for the actor, or in the Wicked Witch's case, actress, and in-game, it looks really nice. But for some reason, for the actual minifigure, they chose an expression that really didn't look that much like the actor, which is just kind of disappointing, because again, like in-game, he looks like Eddie Redmayne. This figure, like, I don't know, he just has sort of a dead smile, and it doesn't look like Eddie Redmayne. Also, I kind of hope they change up the hairpiece. Like, spiky hair is fine, but I mean, like, there are other pieces I think would work better. Like, maybe the new Harry Potter hairpiece just molded in the caramel color. That would be pretty cool. But yeah, I also think it's pretty much like... I don't know if maybe 100% likely, but maybe like 99%. Anyway, we're getting Jacob Kowalski, let's be real. He was the fan favorite from the first Fantastic Beasts, and he would be a pretty simple minifigure to make. There is no reason that LEGO would not include Jacob Kowalski. Yeah. Another character we might get in the set is Albus Percival Wulfric Brian Dumbledore. I think is pretty likely, since I have heard that we are getting a Fantastic Beasts Dumbledore minifigure. And, like, unless he's a polybag, or there's some random Fantastic Beasts 2, like, retail exclusive we don't know about, this is really the only place we could get him, so, yeah. I mean, but I'm putting him as 80% because, again, he could be a polybag. Like, I could totally see him being, Like, when these sets come out, spend $75 or more on LEGO Harry Potter sets to get Fantastic Beasts Dumbledore. I could see LEGO doing that. Let's just hope they don't. I mean, besides him, I think it's also pretty possible that we could get Queenie or Tina. I mean, Queenie, I think, is probably a bit more likely, since obviously she's the last main character from the first movie that we don't have yet, and she wouldn't require any new molds, just some new prints. Tina, is probably, of these 5, she's probably the one, like, if I could only include 4 minifigs, she'd be the one I would cut, because, like, we already have a pretty perfect Tina. Really, like, there's nothing LEGO could really do to improve on this minifigure, so, like, they could pretty much just do a reprint of the Dimensions version, which would be cool to get, I guess, but, I mean, like, I would be fine with her not being included. And really, like, I think those are really all the figures LEGO would include. Like, getting several beasts, at least one of them, probably 2 or 3 are getting new molds. And several new minifigures, like, and for such a good price to part ratio, I really doubt we would get other characters. Like, would it be great to get Credence or Graves? Of course, but I just don't see it happening. So yeah, that's a set I'm very excited for. I'm probably going to get it on day 1 unless LEGO completely does something awful with it, but I have faith. Anyway, next set is one of the ones that we have actual confirmation from LEGO we're getting. 75953 Whomping Willow with 753 pieces for $70. The build will consist of a, well, Whomping Willow, obviously. Here I just kind of have this little toy of it. I have literally no idea where this toy comes from or when it came out, but I'm showing it here instead of an actual image, because I think this is probably closer to what LEGO will do. I doubt they'll go with all the little tiny willow branches and making it look super accurate. I mean, like, they could, but I think it's more likely that LEGO will just create a tree with a couple of play features. And also, like, I think that's probably the general scale the car will be like. I think LEGO will probably use some fairly large pieces for the tree, or at least for the tree trunk, in order to make it look pretty big, while at the same time not using up a huge amount of parts. Also, the set will include the Weasley's flying car, as previously mentioned. I mean, I'm just showing the 2010 version here, but I'm definitely excited to see the new one and see what LEGO does with it. The other build we're getting in this set is just a tower at Hogwarts. I'm just showing this design from 2010, although it will probably be a lot closer to how the towers appeared in the Great Hall set that we're getting in August. Yeah. Who knows, maybe the tower included in this set could be Gryffindor Tower, although I think it's more likely that it would be the tower with Filch's office. But yeah, anyway, so first off, first 2 figures, Harry and Ron, we're obviously getting them. Maybe not in these costumes, these are just the 2 that I think are possible, but obviously LEGO could do new costumes or remakes of different costumes. Heck, they could even just give us the same ones from the Aragog set, and I wouldn't mind that much. But yeah, anyway. Then there's Snape, who I think is like 90% likely. Like, I know we're getting a new Snape. I even made a video about that, and the reason I'm not showing any leaked figures in this video, if you're wondering, is because it turns out that that's kind of illegal, and I don't feel like getting a copyright strike. So yeah. But yeah, I think it's pretty likely that we're getting Snape in this set. I mean, like, he'll probably also come in the direct-to-consumer Hogwarts, but, like, I doubt he would be exclusive to that. And really, this is the set that he makes the most sense in. Similarly, there's Filch, who I'm putting at 80% likely. We also don't have, like, we know we're getting a figure of him, but again, we don't know what set it's from. I'm just guessing this set as well. Yeah. His new figure looks pretty great. It has the William Shakespeare hairpiece, except obviously, like, the hair, his actual hair on that hairpiece is printed in dark gray, and on the bald cap there are a lot of just, like, little thin hair strands on top of the bald cap, which is pretty great looking. He also has a nice torso and leg print, and his face is also really good. He has a double-sided face. One side is sort of grumpy, like what we see on this face, although a bit more accurate to the actor, definitely. While the alternate face on the new Filch is definitely sort of like his really angry smile. I don't know how else to phrase it. You know the face I'm talking about. But yeah, then there are a lot of characters I think are like 25% likely. Maybe slightly different varying levels of likeliness, but I just put them all together because it's easier than coming up with specific amounts of how likely each one is. So yeah, first off, Lockhart doesn't really have a place here, but I mean, hey, he was in the second movie, so you never know. Then Dobby. I mean, he's the reason the car crashed. Well, not the reason the car crashed, obviously, but the reason they had to take the car in the first place. I mean, like, they wouldn't, there's a good chance they would not include him because, like, he wasn't even there in the scene, but who knows? They could include him just because, I mean, you kind of want Dobby. They could also do Colin Creevey. He was important. They could also do Ginny. She was pretty important. They could also do Fred and George. I mean, they were the ones that took the car in the beginning. I could see Lego including them here, even though it's a different scene. Heck, the set could even include Seamus Finnegan. More on that later. I have not gone insane. There's actually a possibility that we could be getting Seamus Finnegan. Anyway, set number 75954, Hogwarts Great Hall. We've already had revealed. It looks pretty amazing. It comes with Harry, Ron, Hermione, Draco, Nearly Headless Nick, McGonagall, Hagrid, Quirrell, Dumbledore, Susan Bones, a Basilisk, Fox, Hedwig, Scabbers, a boat. Also the Hogwarts Great Hall, and a tower that geographically is Gryffindor Tower, even though this clearly isn't Gryffindor Tower judging by the interior, but yeah. Yeah, pretty great set. Definitely a day one purchase for me. Same thing with the Whomping Willow. I think the Newt Scamander's Briefcase, the Whomping Willow, and the Great Hall are the three sets I'm definitely going to strive to get on the first day. Like, I'm going to get them as soon as they come out. Pretty great stuff. Next set is one that we only found out about a couple of weeks ago. It's 75955, The Night Bus, which we don't have a concrete piece count for, but it should be coming in for the price at somewhere around $80 to $90. And for figures, well, I mean, first off, obviously the build is going to be the Night Bus. I'm guessing it'll be bigger than the original, since obviously $90 versus the original being like $30. I'm guessing it'll be an 8-wide build now, and then like the rest of the proportions will be adjusted from there. I could see it having maybe 500 or so pieces. Figures for it, I think Harry, Stan Shunpike, and Ernie Prang are all 100%. Like, they were in the last one, and you kind of need Harry. You kind of need Stan Shunpike because he's memorable, and you kind of need Ernie Prang because he's the bus driver. We could also see, like, a bus passenger, like just a wizard or a witch, but I don't know. That's not too likely, but it's possible. But obviously, like, a bus at, like, 500 pieces can't fill up a $90 set. So obviously we need a side build. And I think there are two distinct possibilities for that. The first one, which I think is more likely, like 75% chance, this is what I'm betting we're getting, is number 4 Privet Drive. And the figures for it are fairly obvious. Uncle Vernon, Aunt Petunia, Dudley, and Aunt Marge. I mean, obviously, if Lego did number 4 Privet Drive, they're all pretty much 100% guaranteed to be included. Like, you can't do number 4 without including the Dursleys. That would just be ridiculous. The other possibility that I think is less likely, but it's certainly possible, is them doing the Leaky Cauldron, which I think is like a 25% chance of happening, but it's possible, even if I don't think it's going to be what they do. If they did do it, though, I think we'd probably get a figure of Cornelius Fudge, the Minister for Magic. We would also probably get one for Tom the Innkeeper. And then, like, for other figures, like, they could do, like, Hermione, since she doesn't come in many sets. I could see them including her here. Also, maybe Ron, although since he comes in a lot of sets, I could see them skipping him in this case. Also, Arthur Weasley, because the Prisoner of Azkaban, that scene when he was talking to Harry in the Leaky Cauldron, I think they could include him because of that. Just some ideas. I think they're all like 25% chances though, so you never know, but yeah, so that's pretty much all I have to say about the 75955, the Night Bus, and my predictions for it. So, now let's move on. The last of the 7 retail sets is set number 75956, the Quidditch match, which will have 500 pieces for $40. The build will be, I'm guessing that we'll get the referee stand once again for Madam Hooch. Obviously, if they include her, I mean, if she's not a figure in the set, like, she's pretty much guaranteed to be there, but if she isn't, then they won't include the referee stand, of course. Obviously, we'll get a chest of our Quidditch balls, and I think we'll probably get all 6 Quidditch hoops in this set. Previous sets have only had 3, but I think we'll probably get all 6 here. And then, since this set's, like, more than 3 times the piece count of the last one, I think we could get a small section of the stands. Like, I have obviously a much bigger chunk pictured in that little movie image than we'll probably get. I'm guessing that the set will probably just include, like, 2 of the towers with a section of stands in between, but you never know what you could get. But, anyway, in terms of figures, I can straight up tell you that Harry, Draco, Marcus Flint, and Oliver Wood are all 100% guaranteed to be in this set. Harry and Draco because, you can't exactly have a Quidditch set without them. And Marcus Flint and Oliver Wood because we've already seen leaked figures of them. I'll get more into that at the end of this video, but basically, for the torso prints on all these guys, instead of having just the printed jumpers with the plain colored capes, now they'll have the robes printed onto the torso, like the closed-up Quidditch robes, which is a pretty nice design. I think it looks pretty good. Also, Marcus Flint will have a new face that accentuates his obviously fake teeth, which is pretty amazing. Wood will just use the Resistance Trooper face that was most recently used on Rinsler in the Tron set. Anyway, for other figures, there's Madam Hooch, who I think it's like 90%, like LEGO could do without her, and that fake CMF list that I touched on last time had her included in the series. So who knows, maybe she could be a CMF, and we could get other figures in the set in her place, you never know. Another figure is possible, is we could get the Weasley twins, obviously in Quidditch uniforms, but I couldn't find those here, so I'm just sort of showing them in their Weasley Wizard Wheezes costumes here. See, I think they're like 60% likely that we'd get the 2 of them, but I think it's, like, in terms of other players for Gryffindor and Slytherin, I think it's like 40% likely. Like, obviously they would balance out the players we'd get for each house, and personally, I would prefer to get, like, a Gryffindor chaser, like maybe Katie Bell or Angelina Johnson. I'd prefer to get them over the Weasley twins, but you never know what LEGO could do. Yeah, and obviously, again, like, if LEGO includes Katie Bell, they'll also include a Slytherin chaser to balance it out. Yeah, another figure that's possible is Lee Jordan, the announcer. Personally, I don't think he'll be included in the set. I have him at 50%, and the reason I think he won't be included is because I think he's more likely to be a character in the CMF as opposed to being just in a set, because he's pretty complex. Like, he would need a new hairpiece, he would need a new scarf mold. Well, not a new mold, but he would need a print on the Ninjago movie scarf. And personally, like, also he has the closed-up robes, which would make him clash with all of the other figures in the main sets. So I think, like, with all of his detail, he's just more likely to be in the CMF line than in the standard sets. Like, he could be in the standard sets, but I don't know. He just seems more likely to be in the CMF. Just my 2 cents. But anyway, I think it's also possible that Hermione could be included in this set. I think that as spectators go, she's probably the most likely figure to get in this set as a spectator to the game. But I'm only putting her at 25% because, like, obviously with a Quidditch set, you want a Quidditch team more than you want spectators. I mean, and really the only reason I think she's even likely is because, obviously, again, $50, there's no real way LEGO could make a $50 Quidditch set without including some of the stands, and you probably want at least 1 or 2 figures included in the set to put into the stands. Although, really, I kind of doubt that anyone would get a Quidditch set as their only Harry Potter set. I mean, unless you're past me, in which case, yeah, go for it. But if you're not past me, then I don't think it's the best idea. Anyway, also we could get Snape. I'm only putting him at like 10% since he seems like he would be a cool exclusive for the Whomping Willow. Like, he could appear here, but he seems more like... Obviously, if he comes in the Whomping Willow, then he would be a big drive to get that set. Like, people would buy that set with Snape being one of the main reasons to get it. Another figure we can include is Quirrell, because he was jinxing Harry's broom. And obviously, Snape would be here, because Hermione sets him on fire because she thinks he's doing it. So yeah, Quirrell I'm putting even lower, like 5%. Because, again, he's a pretty great exclusive for the Great Hall, so it would be pretty weird to get him here. Yeah, one more figure is Dobby. I mean, he cursed the bludger, so you don't know. I'm putting him at, like, 15%. You could see LEGO including, like, Hermione and Dobby in the stands, or maybe Hermione and Lockhart. And I don't know what LEGO could do. Like, yeah, Lockhart's a possibility, you never know. Just lots of possible characters. Yeah. Anyway, next thing, which is the 71043 direct-to-consumer Hogwarts Castle set, which will be like $500 to $600. Also huge. And on the left, as you can see, I have pictured the design of Hogwarts as it appeared from Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban onward in the films. While on the right, I have an image of Hogwarts as it appeared in the first 2 Harry Potter films. And on my last video, I got a couple of comments telling me that they used the same design of Hogwarts in all 8 films, so, I mean, just look at these pictures. Tell me that those are the same design of Hogwarts. They're not. It was, like, a few things stayed the same, like the Great Hall stayed the same, but the majority of Hogwarts was redesigned for the 3rd movie. And thank God that Corone decided that, because it looks so beautiful. While for the first 2 movies, it's pretty good, but after that, it's just beautiful. Honestly, I'm not sure which design of this LEGO would do for the UCS. I'm guessing they would probably do sort of like a mixture of the 2. Like, you could get some of the more standard, more classic-looking towers from the first 2 movies, but then you could also get some of the more geometric and interesting-looking architecture from later on. And I'm not sure exactly what LEGO would include here, because, like, because obviously, like, I could totally see LEGO leaving some stuff out of the direct-to-consumer set to re-release as standalone sets later on. Such as, for example, the clock tower from The Prisoner of Azkaban. I would pay a good $100 to get that as a standard set. Although then again, like, obviously if they included it in the UCS, that would be a pretty good drive for me to get it. I just like that clock tower, okay? But yeah, in terms of minifigures, I'm guessing that there will be a lot. Possibly including Seamus Finnegan. Anyway, next thing is the Harry Potter Collectible minifigure series. And it turns out that, yeah, the list from my last video is fake. So that's fun. I spent like 15 minutes in its back then telling you all about this list, only for it to be revealed to be complete and utter garbage. So first off, one of the things we actually do know about this series that's actually happening is it's going to have 22 figures in it. 22. That means that's, which is the most we've ever had for a CMF, and that's pretty great. But at the same time, with 22 minifigures, that means that some of them will only appear twice per box, which is a bit off, but it's fine, I guess. Next thing. I bet that we'll be getting special variants of Harry, Ron, and Hermione. Not entirely sure what the special variants could be. Like, we could get them just, like, in their full black robes, closed up, maybe with scarves, but we could also see more specialized versions, like Cat Hermione and Rubber Arm Harry. I don't know what LEGO's capable of, you never know. We could get Ron puking slugs. I don't know. I could also see us getting maybe some students that aren't included in the sets, like Percy Weasley, or Lee Jordan with his nice scarf and necessarily new molded hairpiece. Also Penelope Clearwater, because I want a Ravenclaw. Then we could also get some major characters that LEGO skips over in the sets, like Lockhart or Dobby or Lucius. Again, those are just some ideas. They could all come in the sets. None of them can come in the sets. LEGO could have no plans to ever make any of them. I'm just saying, like, I think we'll probably get at least a couple of major characters from the films and books that don't make it into any of the sets. You know, just to make sure that no one gets left behind. Yeah, also, I think we'll get minifigures in the series of Lily and James Potter, Harry's parents. I mean, it would just be kind of odd not to include them. Anyway, but one more thing, which is the only other piece of concrete info we have about this series, besides the fact that there are going to be 22 minifigures, is that one of the figures included will be a chase figure that appears once in every 4 boxes. That means there will be one of these figures in every 240 packs of Harry Potter collectible minifigures. So what are the possibilities for this guy? I doubt it would just be something generic, like just some sort of, just a character. Like, I doubt we would just get a character that's this rare. I think there are 2 possibilities for it, what it could be. Either A, it could be something to commemorate the fact that this year is the 20th anniversary of the release of the original book in the United States. So maybe we could get a figure of J.K. Rowling holding a copy of the book Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Not Sorcerers. It's called The Philosopher's Stone. Also, or it could be something more sort of like a special variant of a figure, like a Harry molded in all trans clear plastic for his invisibility cloak. Just coming up with ideas here, folks. Don't know what LEGO's capable of, but these are just some ideas. But yeah, personally, I'm not a fan of a chase figure. I mean, like, it was bad enough with the Series 18 policeman, and he was only 1 in 60. In fact, judging by Just Too Good's unboxing video of that series, apparently LEGO didn't do that well on making him a 1 in 60, since there were 2 in the box that Just Too Good and Pro LEGO channel shared. So you never know what could happen here. Anyway, next up, starting with Brickheadz, we have 41615, the Harry Potter and Hedwig Brickhead set for $15. It'll come with a brickhead of Harry and a little mini brickhead of Hedwig. It might look sort of like this picture, except for some reason, Hedwig's on Harry's left arm instead of his right arm like in the picture, so it's kind of soiled. But yeah, I mean, hey, there's also a Funko Pop of this exact image. Except again, Lego's putting Hedwig on the other arm, because why not? Or, like, it's... I mean, then again, I've seen a leaked image of this. I even made a video on this leaked image of the Brickhead, but it was super blurry, and I legitimately don't know if Hedwig is on Harry's arm in the Brickhead, or is just sitting beside him on the stand. Not sure. But, yeah. Pretty excited for this. As for Harry's glasses, I'm not sure how they'll do them. They'll probably just use the round glasses piece from the Go Brick Me set. However, Lego could do the toilet seat design they used on the Robin Brickhead, which would be absolutely atrocious, and I would hate it. However, I think what's also possible is to maybe get the glasses a bit thinner, and actually have, glass in them. Lego could do a technique I really liked back in the Cars 2 sets. For Professor Z, they could use magnifying glasses for his, glasses, and honestly, I would love it if Lego did that. I doubt they'll do it. They'll almost certainly just use the Brickhead's glasses piece, but you never know. It would be pretty awesome to see Lego reuse the magnifying glasses here. I mean, heck, maybe there's another technique that they'll use that I'm just not thinking of, but this is what I have. This is what I've come up with. Moving right along, there is, the other Brickhead set we're getting this year for the Harry Potter line is the Hermione Granger Brickhead. Yeah, just like in Dimensions, Ron got left out. Probably because he was completely useless in the films. Sigh. But anyway, yeah, Hermione. The Brickhead will not have her robes on, she'll just have the jumper and her skirt. And hey, here's a Funko Pop again. Except again, Hermione will have no robes, none of the black robes, just her jumper and the skirt. Also, forgot to mention, but the 2 Brickhead sets for Harry Potter are coming out in July, while the main sets are coming in August. And considering how spotty the Brickhead's releases can be, we might see these guys as early as June. Next month. That means that next month, you might walk into your Target store and be able to buy the new wand piece. Which honestly just sounds like heaven. In a $15 box. Or $10 if you go with Hermione and decide to get a tan wand instead of Harry's dark brown. Alternatively, Hermione could come with a book and Harry could come with a chocolate frog card. You never know what Lego could do in order to keep us waiting for that new wand piece. Because they know how much we want it. They know how much we lust for the new wand piece. I'm getting off track. Anyway, being a bit less creepy, there's also going to be a Fantastic Beasts Brickhead set that'll come in August, or maybe September, possibly October. I don't remember when I'm honest, I have no idea when this one comes out, but it certainly will. It'll be of Newt Scamander and Albus Percival Wulfric Brian Dumbledore. Newt Scamander, this guy. Here's a Funko Pop of what he might look like. I'm guessing he'll have his briefcase and his wand. Also maybe his Hufflepuff scarf, because J.K. Rowling decided to make the main protagonist of the new series Hufflepuff. But what do us Ravenclaws get? Nothing. Nothing besides the fact that we know that we're intelligent. But really, is that enough? I mean, there's been a movie. There's a full series of movies. There's a 5-film movie quintilogy about a filthy Hufflepuff. Nothing for the Ravenclaws. Not even a torso print. Not even a single minifigure. I mean, to be fair, I guess we got Luna, but she was in just a pink jacket, so it doesn't really count. But yeah. Also Dumbledore. This guy again. Personally, I'm kind of interested how this will turn out. maybe a bit less of the actual set itself, and more of them. Does this mean that we're not going to be getting a standard, just like Harry Potter Dumbledore Brickhead? Because if that's the case, then this is actually kind of sad. Because I would much rather get like a Harry Potter Dumbledore than a Fantastic Beasts Dumbledore. And maybe our second Fantastic Beasts Brickhead could be like Jacob. Jacob was pretty popular, but I digress. But yeah, also, so I'm at the end of this video. I'm going to just get off of sets that are coming and instead go into the minifigures that have leaked. Obviously, this won't be including figures that have already been revealed from the Grindelwald's Escape or Hogwarts Great Hall sets. These are just including the minifigures that we've seen leaked images of that are not official. Again, this will not be featuring the actual figures. I'm just going to be showing off sort of the original versions of these figures and telling you what the new ones entail. Starting off with Harry Potter from the Aragog scene. He will have the same hairpiece and head print as he does in the Hogwarts Great Hall. He will have dark blue short legs, which is kind of interesting looking, since he also has a dark blue torso, so it kind of looks like he's in pajamas, but it's an interesting choice. It looks fine. And his torso print is actually pretty similar to what we have here, except, again, a bit more detail on the light blue shirt underneath, but pretty similar. A lot less similar is Ron Weasley, who again has the same hair and torso print that we saw in the Great Hall set, except now he has the dark gray short legs, and his torso print, instead of being black with the gray check design on it, now we have a light gray torso with the black designs on it, which is an interesting choice. It definitely looks interesting, to say the least. Yeah. Pretty sure I already said that, but anyway, next figure is Snape. I already made a whole video on the new Snape, but he has a new face print that's pretty nice. He has a new torso print that's pretty nice. Yeah. A figure that, in fact, just leaked a couple days ago is Argus Filch. I already talked a bit about him. He has the Shakespeare hairpiece, but with some new coloring, so he has the dark gray hair and some hair strands printed on the bald top. He has a double-sided face that's pretty perfect. He has a torso that's extremely similar to this one, except with some back printing. But then the legs continue the coat down onto it. So yeah, pretty cool figure. Also, will probably come with Miss Norris, who I'm hoping is a new mold for a cat, because while I do really like the old Mrs. Norris, it wasn't very accurate. Next two figures are Oliver Wood and Argus Filch. Oliver Wood and Marcus Flint from the Quidditch set. Oliver Wood will have the same hairpiece he does in the 2010 version, but in not light brown, but a normal brown, if I can even think correctly. He'll have a normal brown hairpiece. He'll use the same Resistance Trooper head that also appeared on Rinsler in the Tron set, which actually does look pretty accurate, so I'm fine with it. And the torso will be printed to have him with closed-up robes. Oh, instead of having the jumper, he'll have the dark red robes printed on his torso, which looks pretty good. And also, he won't have any leg printing, because obviously it would be inconsistent when Harry and Draco have short legs that can't have printing on the front to continue the robes down. So it would just be inconsistent for Wood and Flint to have printing on the legs, so yeah. For Flint, the torso print is pretty similar, but his hairpiece will be a black version of the classic Ron Weasley bowl cut hairpiece. And also, his face print will be a new print, so we can have his super obvious fake teeth, which is pretty great. And I think it's kind of interesting how in both instances of the Quidditch set, 2010 and 2018, Oliver Wood has been nothing but reused parts, with a well-used face from a couple of years prior, and the same, obviously, torso print as Harry, while Marcus Flint gets a relatively new coloration for his hairpiece and a brand new printed face. Kind of interesting, the consistency there. Also, we'll probably be getting Seamus Finnegan. Or at least we're getting some Gryffindor that has Tim Murphy's face from the Jurassic Park set and spiky hair. I'm guessing it's going to be Seamus Finnegan because we have Harry and Ron are already accounted for. Neville doesn't have brown spiky hair and he's too important to just get a reused face. And Dean Thomas has too dark of a skin tone, so that kind of leaves us with just Seamus Finnegan. Honestly, it's a bit disappointing because, like, with the spiky hair, you'd expect him to be, kind of exploded, since obviously in the movies he only had spiked up hair when something blew up in his face. The problem being that LEGO was just giving him Tim Murphy's head from Jurassic Park, and Tim never blew up. I mean, maybe it would have worked if Tim's alternate face had been him getting fried to death by the electric fence. But, yeah. So that's kind of sad. We get spiky hair for Seamus Finnegan, but no face covered in soot. But yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much all I have to say about more rumors and leaks for the 2018 LEGO Harry Potter sets. I can't wait until LEGO decides to give us official reveals for all of these sets. I'm guessing we'll get officially revealed sometime in June. Obviously, more leaks will start to build up throughout the month of May. I'm guessing that by the end of May, we'll probably have seen at least one or two of this, like, the full sets leak. But again, I doubt we'll see, I doubt LEGO will officially reveal the sets until mid to late June, maybe even early July, although I think that's pushing it a little. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching this video, and I will see all of you in the next one. Bye-bye.